Assalamu alaikum. Welcome again to our course Introduction to Linguistics. So today we're going to talk about linguistics in deep. So why do we use linguistics? So now we're going to do it okay, in the practical part. So now if you're going to asking yourself, why do we use linguistics? Why linguistics is important? Is there any elements that we have to focus in this regard? So here, I just want you to focus on that. Linguistics, we can use it in analyzing. When we're going to analyze, either, for example, speech, writing, literature, anything, okay, written or orally, we're gonna analyze it. So there are some aspects that we have to put in this consideration. About why do we use linguistics? We use linguistics for many things. The first thing for analyzing. And the modality comes here in the first, that when we analyze anything, we consider the modality. And a modality is a linguistics feature and it's convey many meanings. So let's start. Modality. Why do we use modality and what is modality means? Modality refers to the speaker attitude towards the action or states expressed by a verb. So here, a verb, we're going to express it. So it's convey a degree of certainty, obligation, permission, or ability. So we can use modality for ability, for permission, for obligation, for something that we're going to convey meaning. About these things that we use it for modality. So what is the modality here? Here, some examples that we use it for modality and the kinds of modality. So let's start. So let's talk about epistemic modality, deontic modality, and dynamic modality. So epistemic modality is express the speaker judgment about the truth, or like who, for example, here, a preposition, certainty, possibility, doubt. So let's start here. For this example, she might be at home. She might be at home. ربما ستكون في البيت. Is it something we are certain about it? We are, okay, we are giving a possibility about it. There is a doubt about it. So what does it mean here? That we are giving, something that we don't, or we are not make sure about if he is at home or not. So she might be at home. Deontic here, moving to deontic, it means that obligation, permission, or prohibition. For example, you must finish your homework. It's obligation, amr. You must finish your homework. There is no doubt about it. But when we say she might be at home, there is something that we are not sure about it. Dynamic modality. She can swim. She can swim. This is like regarding the ability here. So she can swim. لا تستطيع أن تسبح. So here, epistemic. So here express, the uncertainty, something that we are not making sure, okay? So here doubt, هناك شك, she might be at home. So uncertainty, possibility, doubt. Deontic here, it means that she must finish your homework. It should be like obligation, amr. And dynamic here, it means that your ability or your willingness. For example, she can swim. So there is قدرة, يعني ability, إنها تستطيع. So here, different kind of modality. You have to consider them when we talking about modality. modal verbs. So here, modal verb, like common modal verb and their function. So let's start, for example, can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, would. So for example, you should apologize. Advice here. We have giving here advice. يبقى هون different functions for different modal verbs. So we have here different functions. For example, modal adverb. For example, possible, certainty, perhaps. For example, she will certainly attend the meeting. So she will. So by using like perhaps or possible or certainly, so here means that he will to do something. Modal adjective, for example, possible, necessary, likely. It's necessary to arrive on time. It's necessary. من الضروري يعني إنه أن تصل يعني في الوقت المحدد. Other constructions, conditional sentences, for example, or semi-modals have to, need to, lexical verb, for example, seem, appear, like this. So here we have also many examples that is talking about, you know, that nowadays we like analysis Netanyahu speeches. For example, here he uses high modality. When he say never again must never be an empty promise. And it will not be in vain to persuade and express certainty and moral commitment. So here, Netanyahu like uses must and must here for strong obligation. We talk about this for strong obligation, if you remember here. We talk about this modality that is this here for obligation. Okay. Um, yes. Um, So here he say never again must never be empty promise. It will not be in vain. ما راح يكون يعني هباء إنه وعد to persuade لإقناع الشعب تبعه إنه his commitment يعني هناك التزام ناحيته عشان هيك استخدم must. عشان هيك أنا بقول لكم يعني نستخدم ال features of linguistics in analyzing this modality and showing that like for regarding political speeches, for example, Netanyahu here talking about persuasion, like here he uses certainty and a moral commitment towards his nation. So these statements like giving Israel right to defend itself. For example, he say Israel has enabled and I will never allow that to happen. ولن أسمح بذلك أن يحدث. We will do whatever it must do. سنفعل ما بإمكاننا فعله and our factory will be your factory. يعني إنه انتصارنا هو انتصاركم. Israel will always defend itself. Will always defend itself. Israel got the civilians out of harm ways. So here a signal strong certainty about Israel actions and its moral superiority in conducting military operation. So this reflects strong certainty about the outcome of conflict and the resolve of Israel in defending itself. So here also another statement which is Netanyahu further uses high modality. I promise you this, no matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult the road ahead, Israel will not relent. So here he conveys certainty, commitment, التزامه ناحية شعبه. He will not, Israel will not, يعني إنه certain, he's certain, مؤكد, he's certain about this. He signals a firm sense statements in politics and diplomatic issues to encourage the public to believe him. On the other hand, there is a minimal use of headers, or we can say low modality. The speaker is, portraying Israel right, like right, the moral clarity that the conflict demands. Uh, the statement, if there are Palestinians in the Gaza who aren't getting enough food. So let's see how he is like using إذا كان هناك فلسطينيون لم يحصلوا على يعني الغذاء. فهنا لاحظوا إنه أو يعني إنه قديش هو بيستخدم أسلوب that is like إذا لم يكن هناك أحد. فاستخدامه like here the idea that Israel is intentionally preventing aid. So intentionally preventing aid, leaving room for doubt, but quickly reasserting Israel innocence. So here, the reference to the number of civilians that in Rafah, particularly none, severe, like serves to downplay the perceived negative impact of the war, suggesting that Israel actually were largely successful in protecting civilians. So here he's suggesting that he protecting Palestinian people, and in fact he didn't. Okay, so here we see many examples of certainty about how they use it, like even in political speech. كيف احنا بنستخدم حتى في political speech، حتى انه يوصل الفكرة لشعبه انه قديش هو يعني justifying this genocide of Gaza war. بحاول انه يقنع شعبه انه هو مع هذا as a defending، كدفاع عن شعبه، كدفاع انه هو بوعد شعبه انه لن يجعلهم they will never promise them to stand with them, believe in them, and they encourage them even that he is using a high modality. لكن بالمقابل ولما يستخدم low modality. So all these examples that we have to show here and how the modality is really using in his speech that is like make his speech strong enough. طبعا احنا عارفين that is not it's not clear that is like he is help Palestinian people في الأكل أو حتى في providing them humanitarian. That's why he said like if they're like if there are Palestinian and استخدامه if الشرطية هون إنه دليل على إنه okay he using low but هي هنا conditional statement استخدم if الشرطية لكن هو عارف إنه لم يقدم المساعدة لهم. Thank you so much for attending this session. This session is talking about modality and how you're going to express modality and using them in um, different situations in life. So we use it for certainty, for obligation, and even for uncertainty, for permission, for ability. So you have to know this, you have to understand the modality and the different kind of modality that we have talked about, the epistemic and the idiomatic and the dynamic and even modal verbs, even, adjective, adverb, and other constructions. You have to also understand that they have different functions for obligations, for permissions, for ability, for doubting. So you're even we have a different functions, we have a different وظائف لإلهم. So you have to understand them. And even we use them for political speeches. Thank you so much for this. Hope you understand all these points. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me.